All-Stars. Do you like monster stories? Not the scary kind, but the cute kind? I do. This is Mookie. He's my special monster and he reads stories with me. What? What, Mookie? Tell me. He wants to read some stories with us. Are you ready to read stories? Me too. I'll see you soon. Today, I'm a Monster by Trevor Judson and Agnes Green. Today I am a monster. I woke with a sore head. I want to keep on dreaming. Don't get me out of bed. I will not put my slippers on. My claws won't fit inside. Today I have my monster face. Better run and hide. I will not say good morning to you, dear Mom and Dad. I'd rather do a monster dance to show you that I'm bad. I will not eat my cereal, and look, my bowl's a hat. I'd rather eat it monster style than tip it on the cat. My juice is the brightest orange, the color of monster blood. I'll pour some on the tablecloth. I'm sure you'll think it's good. My sister built a Lego house that took her all last week. My monster foot stomps down on it and really makes her shriek. We walk to kindergarten. My neighbor says, "Hey, you!" because I'm standing on his flowers as angry monsters do. I like your lovely daffodils. I love your climbing rose. I think I'll pull the petals off and stick them up your nose. All the time the angry feeling's hot within my head. It wants to make me do bad things that get me sent to bed. Mother takes me to the park. Our dog begins to wail. Hey, don't you bite that poor pup and let go of his tail. We meet my friend and I grab his car. He cries and pulls and pushes. With monster strength, I tug it free and throw it in the bushes. I am the monster boy, I shout, all tired and forlorn. I'll eat you all and never sleep. Then I lay down on the lawn. Mother sees I'm drifting off. The monster's eyes can only peep. She scoops me up and carries me, and oh, her hair smells just like sleep. She carries me and puts me down, wraps me in my quilt. She seems to know it was not me who roared and broke and spilt. She tells me that she knows I'm not the thing with claws and teeth, that when I'm angry she still sees the good boy underneath. And as she softly cradles me, I'm turning back into me. Her love can melt through monsters. The good is all she sees. Everyone has bad days. All grown-ups know it's true. When I was just a little girl, I was a monster too. But mothers know that monsters are an angry old disguise. The best of you is still inside. We see it in your eyes. We love you when you make us proud. We love you when you rage. We soothe the monster with our love and return it to its cage. She coos and whispers, strokes my hair. Her calm words soothe my ears. The monster smiles, I'm better now. He waves and disappears. The sleep is coming warm and quiet. The slipping sunlight gleams. I'm bobbing on a little boat upon the sea of dreams. I'll be me again tomorrow. I'll play outside for hours. I'll help my sister build her house and the neighbor with his flowers. I'll push my friend upon his bike and make him laugh and giggle. I'll throw a stick the dog can chase and give his chin a tickle. And if my monster should come back one angry rainy day, I'll give him half my lunch and tell him everything's okay. Mookie! Hi! So, did you like that story?
Yeah, I know you do. Okay, so Mookie wants you to watch another story, and it's called Don't Feed a Monster. I hope you like it.
Don't Feed the Monster, written by Sigal Adler and illustrated by Abira Das. This is a poem from the story. But if you see a monster, now you will know that screaming and hollering just make it grow. So think of a joke, laugh as loud as you can. If you don't feed the monster, you'll ruin his plan. Don't feed the monster. One day, Billy Monster, to his great surprise, found he'd won the most fabulous prize, an awesome new home to live in and share with his very own kid to pester and scare. But when he got there, he started to pout, and all his excitement turned into doubt. Who would be frightened of someone like him, looking all puny and not mean or grim? When his tutor came, Billy said with a frown, I must be the wimpiest monster in town. But the tutor replied with his knowing grin, If you wish to grow, well, soon you'll begin. Something important you simply must know. Frightening children is how monsters grow. Just scare him a little at bedtime each night. A poke or a whisper to give him a fright. That night in the room, Billy gave it a try, hoping to make the young boy cry. He made the creepiest buzzing sound till the boy woke up frightened and looking around. Mom, come quick! A monster's in here! Really? She said. That's not true, my dear. Monsters aren't real. You don't have to scream. I'm sure that you just had a terrible dream. When Mom was around, Billy knew he must hide, so he ran from the room and waited outside. He peeked in the mirror that stood in the hall, and he looked slightly bigger, yes, not quite as small. Billy was thrilled he was bigger at last, so he stayed up all night just having a blast, planning the next time that he'd scare the boy, and the look on his face he was sure to enjoy. The next day Billy crept under the sheet, reached down below to tickle his feet. He started to scream and his face turned so red, kicked with both legs, almost wetting the bed. Look how big he's getting. Oh my goodness. Mom, come quickly, it's grabbing my toes. Now monsters aren't real, as everyone knows. His mom shook her head. It's not what it seems. I'm sure you're still having those terrible dreams. Billy was happy, just bursting with joy, thinking of how he would next scare the boy. And when that night he stepped into the hall, in the mirror he saw he was even less small. Wow. The next day, after the boy dimmed the light, Billy tried spooking him, gave him a fright with shadows so scary on the wall of his room, till Mom rushed in and banished the gloom. Amazing, cried Billy. Just look how he scares. Look at his goosebumps and those prickly hairs. And when he stepped out, he got a huge thrill to see that his body had grown bigger still. Billy grew proud of his scaring power, spooking the boy at any late hour. All of those screams were a most scrumptious treat, more filling than any food he might eat. It says, boo, boo. As Billy grew bigger, he filled up the place, taking up almost all the free space. With his new size, he just whistled or clapped to make the boy jump up like he'd been zapped. Ah! But Mom really worried about her young son. She knew that the scares were simply no fun. She went to the library, searched for a book, Get Rid of Monsters, and then took a look. Hmm. Right away as she read, Mom figured it out that Billy would grow with each shriek, every shout. My son, she said, I think that you'll find that he'll shrink down if you pay him no mind. Fine, said the boy, no scaring for me. I'm not going to shriek and I won't try to flee. Next time that monster comes to my bed, I won't scream aloud. I'll ignore him instead. Do you think that that's going to make that monster get smaller, boys and girls? Let's find out. That night when Billy crept under the sheet, trying to tickle the little boy's feet, the boy laughed and then fell asleep. And Billy, so shocked, almost wanted to weep. Sad and discouraged, he peeked at his size, and there indeed, to Billy's surprise, he was smaller again, not nearly so grand. Things were not going quite as he'd planned. Oh no. The next night he cast shadows up on the wall, but the boy only giggled, not scary at all. Billy ran out, for it just wasn't fair. All I want is to give that boy a big scare. Now Billy felt nothing but sadness inside. He really was shrinking. He wanted to hide. He felt so exhausted, perhaps he should leave, for he had no more tricks left up his sleeve. Billy had shrunk. He could barely be seen, not nearly as huge as he once had been. He leaped to the bed, screeched on, but the boy didn't notice, just gave a great yawn. That does it! Poor Billy gave one last shriek that came out sounding more like a squeak. I'm leaving before I vanish for good. This home is not working out like it should. Now, lest you feel worried about Billy's fate, never fear, he's a monster. I'm sure he'll do great. He just left to seek out a new kid to scare, hoping to find a real coward somewhere. But if you see a monster, now you will know that screaming and hollering just make it grow. So think of a joke, laugh as loud as you can. If you don't feed the monster, you'll ruin his plan. Just know any monster you happen to find is really made up. He just lives in your mind. Good night.
Hi. So, Mookie wants to know, did you like Don't Feed the Monster? Okay, we know that you like it. All right. So he said that he has another story that he would like for me to share with you. It's called How to Catch a Monster. Yes, we hope you like it.
How to Catch a Monster by Michael Yu. Bedtime was never fun for Eric. He hated washing up, he hated brushing his teeth, and he hated putting on his pajamas. Eric would rather play games than get ready for bed. That's when Eric's mom decided to tell him about the monster. What monster, Mommy? Eric asked excitedly, jumping up and down. He loved dinosaurs and dragons and animals of every kind. I'm talking about the monster that'll come and play with you, replied Mom. I'll tell you all about it and what to do after you're all washed up and ready for bed. For the very first time in all of Eric's 4 long years of life, he willingly took his bath, brushed his teeth, and put on his pajamas. Eric proudly smiled and declared, I'm ready! Wow, that was super, honey, Mom cheerfully beamed back. Now I'll tell you what to do. First, we'll head to the kitchen. But I don't want a snack. I want to hear about the monster, Eric protested. Mom grabbed Eric's hand and told him, "You may not want a snack, but I know someone else who would love a snack." Eric looked up into Mom's face and she grinned and winked at him. "Oh, the monster!" Eric exclaimed. Eric and Mom filled a plate with chocolate chip cookies and returned to his bedroom and placed it next to his bed. Then Mom said, "Now you need to get under your covers and say, 'Monster, monster, 1, 2, 3, won't you come out and play with me?' This monster will do anything for food, especially cookies." "I got it," said Eric. He leapt into his bed and pulled the covers over himself. Then he repeated what his mom told him to say after she left. "Monster, monster, 1, 2, 3, won't you come out and play with me? And I have cookies for you." Eric heard someone stomping around his room. Was it the monster? Yummy cookies," someone cried. Eric took a peek from under his covers and saw the monster. "Oh," said Eric, "it worked. Are you here to play with me?" "Grr," said the monster. "What do you want to play?" "Let's play horsey. Give me a ride around the room, please, Mr. Monster." The monster came up next to the bed, got down on his 4 paws, and Eric climbed on top of him, grabbing onto a handful of fur. "Hang on now." The monster growled at him. They galloped all around the room many times, with Eric giggling and bouncing up and down. Finally, the monster came to a halt and placed Eric back on his bed. "Good night now, little boy, and thank you for the cookies," said the monster. "Thank you for playing with me," said Eric. "Will you come back tomorrow? I'll put out some more treats for you." The monster didn't say anything, but walked towards the door and stopped before leaving and smiled at Eric. The next night, Eric zoomed to the bathroom. He washed up and brushed his teeth and then hurried to put on his pajamas. Afterwards, he rushed to the kitchen and said to his mom, "Look, Mommy, I'm all done. Now, can I please have some cookies to give the monster?" His mom studied him closely. "Did you brush your teeth?" she asked. "Yes, my breath is nice and minty," Eric said. "All right, then you can have some cookies for the monster," said his mom. They carried the cookies to the room, and Eric scurried under his covers. Eric's mom left the room. "Monster, monster, 1, 2, 3, won't you come out and play with me? And I have cookies for you." Once again, Eric heard a stomping sound. There were loud crunching noises as the monster snacked on the cookies. "Yum, yum, chocolate chip, my favorite," said the monster. Eric hopped out of bed. "Mr. Monster, you're back. Will you play with me?" asked Eric eagerly. Before remembering his manners, "Please?" Since these were good cookies, sure. What do you want to play?" The monster waited for Eric's reply. "How about hide and go seek?" said Eric. "Okay," said the monster, covering his eyes. 1, 2, 3. "Wait, I'm not ready!" Eric giggled. Eric hid under his bed. The monster found him. Then the monster hid in the laundry basket. Eric found him too. They played for a while before the monster said, "It's time for bed. Good night, little boy, and thank you for the cookies." "Thank you for playing with me," said Eric with a yawn. The monster tucked Eric into bed and left. The monster's visits continued, and Eric became very quick at washing up and brushing his teeth and putting on his pajamas. He became so quick that his mom had to send him back to the bathroom because he still had soap bubbles in his hair. One night, Eric went to the kitchen and asked for some more cookies to give the monster. I'm sorry, Eric. We don't have any more cookies. I'll make more tomorrow, said his mom. What? But I want to play with the monster, exclaimed Eric. Well, here are some apples. You can give these to the monster, his mom told him. Besides, apples are healthier, and I happen to know that the monster loves them. Okay, said Eric. Eric went to bed and snuggled under the blankets. Monster, monster, 1, 2, 3, won't you come out and play with me? Eric shouted before adding, I don't have any cookies, but I do have nice apples. Eric waited. And then there was the familiar stomping noise and the munching of apples. Eric pulled off the covers and grinned at the monster. Yay, Mr. Monster, let's play, said Eric. The monster swallowed a bite of apple. And what shall we play tonight? He asked. Helicopter, cried Eric, stretching his arms straight up. Let's play helicopter, please. The monster picked Eric up by his arms and began to turn on the spot. They spun round and round. Eric let out a squeal as his feet were lifted off the ground. Whee! Said Eric. They did this several times before the monster's arms got tired, and he plopped Eric down on the bed. Whew! Good night, little boy, and thank you for the apples, said the monster. Good night, and thank you for playing, Dad. I mean, Mr. Monster. Eric hurried to correct himself. He looked shamefully at the monster for having accidentally broken the game. But Eric's dad just smiled, kissed his son on top of his head, and said, Sleep tight, son, and don't worry. I'm sure Mr. Monster will be back tomorrow, especially since Mommy is baking a big batch of chocolate chip cookies. The end.
Boys and girls, I hope that you liked my monster stories today. They were cute and not really scary at all. What is it, Mookie? Really? Okay, Mookie says he wants you to see one more. He says it's the most like him, and it's called Too Cute to Spook. You really are cute, Mookie. All right, let's see this last one.
Too Cute to Spook, written by Diana Alakasandrova and illustrated by Alicia Young. To Laura, the most adorable little monster. And this little monster is reading a book that says, How to Be a Monster. Like every other monster, Lori wants to scare kids. He wants to be the scariest monster of all. Eek! Oh no! Ah! Lori wants to follow in the steps of his famous ancestors, his dreadful great-grandfather, Scabby Moldbody, who was known for making kids scream the loudest, and his gruesome great-grandmother, Henrietta Fang, who was responsible for more nightmares than any other monster. Unfortunately, Lori is different. He isn't creepy like the other monsters. Lori is cute, and kids are not afraid of cute little monsters. Lori hates being cute. He tries to splash in puddles and roll in dirt to make his coat look shabby and grubby. He tries eating nasty worms to make his teeth dark and gross. But no matter what he does, Lori is still too cute to spook anyone. I like right there the little spider is looking at the worms and it looks like he's going bleh because it looks so gross. Fortunately, Lori has a big bookshelf full of answers. Wow, look at all those books. He pulls out a book and flips through it to find what children are afraid of. Kids are afraid of scary noises, Lori reads. Wee, wee, wee! And the kids are going, Lori sees two kids walking to school, puffs out his chest, and musters up a scary sound. But instead of running away, the kids just laugh. Laurie drags himself to his bookshelf. Kids are afraid of the tusks and claws of monsters, he reads out loud. During lunch break, Laurie tiptoes over to the children, waves his claws, and shows his terrifying grin. The kids wave back. Teary-eyed, Laurie runs back home. He looks up at the thickest book on the top shelf, climbs the ladder, and lugs the heavy book down. It looks like the name of this book is Children's Fears. Oh boy, and there's little eyes in it. Most of all, kids are afraid of spooky, eerie movements, he reads. Laurie finds the kids on the playground. He hops towards them, flutters his arms, and does cartwheels. So cute! The kids giggle and hug him. Oh. Larry breaks free and runs until he's out of breath. I am the worst monster ever, Laurie sobs. I don't want to be cute. I want to be scary. Just then, ahead of him is the biggest, meanest, and scariest gang of monsters he has ever seen. Oh no! They are going to laugh at me too, Laurie thinks. But something unbelievable happens. Ah! He's so cute! He's too adorable! I can't look at him anymore! That is terrifying! Run! The big monsters shriek and scatter. Are they afraid of me? Laurie wonders. Turns out, monsters are afraid of anything cute, and the scariest thing for them is a cute little monster. Scaring monsters is much more fun than scaring kids. Laurie takes pride in being able to frighten monsters. Hey kids, do you want me to tell you the secret to scaring big bad monsters? All right, that's the end. It says enjoyed the book. Please take a moment to review. I hope that you liked that story about Too Cute to.
All right, that was really, really the last one this time. I know. It's so much fun. We could do this all day. It's so much fun. And Mookie just thinks he's so cute. We'll see you next week. Bye.